Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new, welcome. We want to get back into more Amberlynn Reid content, specifically more Q&As. I think we are up to part 12. Don't quote me on that because honestly, I don't know at this point. There are so many different Q&As, but I think it's part 12. We're just going to get straight into the questions, try to get through a couple Q&As, and then get back to some more videos. Still going to do those two Amber videos as well. But let's get straight into it, shall we? Starting off with the first question, we have, what's the last song you listened to? To which Amber replies with, Body High by Harrison Broom, which I don't know who that is. I'm going to assume that he is a famous artist, though. Moving on to question 2, we have, why do you drink so much when you know it causes weight gain? To which Amber says, I don't drink so much. Alright, interject myself here for a quick second. You kind of give yourself that reputation. You go on live stream drinking yourself into a stupor and then throwing a fit or a tantrum or like crying on camera. Then you go out to bars with your partner and restaurants with your partner and your friends and you drink. That is a lot of content recently that you have been doing a lot of drinking. So you can't really say that it's not so much when you create the reputation of you drinking a lot. Like, even if you may not do it on a daily basis or you may only do it once a week, you are still giving that perception that you drink a lot. So you can't blame people for assuming that you're almost an alcoholic at this point. But regardless, I lose weight when I drink, but it's only water weight because alcohol makes me pee more than usual. Okay, so then you literally just reinforce what you said. You gain weight because alcohol is calorie dense. And like, you're not going to keep the water weight off because you're going to replace it when you drink water again. So what was your argument when you make this argument? Also, do you know how the body works? Like, you don't just eat something, go to the bathroom, and then all that calories are gone, all that fat is gone. You don't have to worry about it anymore. Like, your body takes several days in order to break down the food, take the good stuff that it needs, and then get rid of the bad stuff you don't need, aka going to the bathroom. So like, you're not making a proper argument here. You're in fact, you're just reinforcing her point that she's making. Question 3, we have journalist contacting Zachary and Michael for Girl World. Thoughts? To which Amber says, it was the same journalist that contacted me, but I chose not to do the interview. The reason why she won't do it is because she won't be able to control the narrative. And I mean, Amber, you can't do that anyway in your own content that you have full control over. Like, you yourself have full control in editing, and yet you still create a negative perception of yourself that people are able to see through. So, I mean, just do the interview. Honestly, you might be able to get something out of it. The journalist told me that they interviewed a reaction channel, and I actually had assumed it was him. I don't have any thoughts, though. You do, you just don't want to say anything because you know that people are going to take it wrong. Moving on to the next one we have, I miss your earring selling era, hee. That is so shady right there. There is no way that is not shade. To which Amber says, me too. I genuinely loved it. I felt passionate about it. No, you didn't. Absolutely not. It was just a way of you trying to occupy your time and get money out of it. Like, you don't have anything going on, and I completely understand because there are some times where I take time off of work, like for holidays and stuff like that, and if I don't book myself out throughout the entire time I'm off, I will climb the walls just with pure boredom because there's nothing that I can really, like, I can only do certain things for so long. Like, I could watch TV or play games or something like that for so long before I just get so bored. So I have to kind of keep myself occupied by doing other things throughout my day. That being said, like, Amber, you didn't even do the bare necessities of keeping your earrings clean. You wore earrings and then sold crusty earrings. You didn't keep them clean. You didn't sanitize them. You didn't sanitize probably the desk, your hands. You didn't wear gloves. You didn't probably package them properly. You just threw them in a box with some bubble wrap and called it a day. So I wouldn't really call that passionate. Alright, moving on to the next one, which is a bit of a long one. We have, sorry about my Alexis question, not fat phobic. I'm 230 pounds. Alexis brought up her weight first. To which Emma replies, Alexis did not bring up her weight first. Everyone else did. It's not okay and goes to show where a larger part of my audience's head is at. It's really sad and I've known it all along. I've called that fat phobia for a decade now. Oh god, Amber. Fighting against thousands of people gaslighting me. But the way everyone treated Alexis in my comments of the vlog spoke volumes and confirmed everything I've already known. No, Amber, Absolutely not. We're not going to do that. Now, I will agree that there is a level of fat phobia that Amber does have to deal with. Same with Alexis in the comments. But the fat phobia was created from your own negative actions for both of you. Like, she defended you for a whole year, and you have done everything that you have done for the past 11 years on YouTube. So the two of you are kind of shamed, attacked, and just belittled, manipulated, harassed, abused everyone else in your lives. So you can't really complain about people giving you that same level of energy back. And the way people are going to go about it is, well, if if you go low, we're going to go lower. So they're going to attack your insecurities, which, being two morbidly obese women, people are going to do the exact same thing to you by attacking your insecurity, which is your weight. Now, that is slightly fat phobic, but it's mostly to get back at you for your negative attitudes and your negative actions. And I will fully admit, I did the exact same thing. I will make fun of Amber and Foodie's weight and their appearance because they do the same thing to other people. Now, that gives leeway to me also getting that type of energy because I do the exact same thing. And if you, as an audience member, want to take shots at me for the way that I look or my weight or anything like that, go for it. I have zero problems on it. I think a lot of people should be able to do it because, if you give that type of energy to other people, that's kind of how you kind of deal with it yourself. Like, you kind of understand how other people feel when you get that energy back. And Amber, you have done the same thing to Beck. You have done the same thing to Destiny. You have done the same thing to their family members, your family members, friends, random strangers, teachers, hell, even people just trying to mind their own business, have lunch at or dinner at a restaurant. You're attacking them for being bigger than you. So you're a massive hypocrite in that regard. And the same thing with Alexis too. Like, she made fun of your appearance. She made fun of other people's appearance too. So kind of, you get what you deserve. If you're going to go low, they're going to go lower. So deal with it. On to the next one, you have a live stream during earring era where you were miserable, not passionate, to which Emma replies, during live stream era in 2021, I was miserable in general. My mental health was horrible, so that reflected in pretty much everything at the time. Okay, so Amber was kind of just saying at that particular time she was dealing with depressive episodes. Now, I kind of want to speak on this, and I think most people, including myself, probably understand how Amber's anxiety and depression kind of works. It's when the relationship is not working out. When Amber starts up a relationship, she's happy, she's amazing, this is the best thing ever. She's like on cloud nine. She's, 1,000 pounds lighter, essentially. But that's only a facade because Amber herself has created such a perfect fairy tale, like Disney relationship in her mind. And then when she gets into the relationship, it's not as perfect as she perceived it to be. And so it kind of causes her to go through a depression because the partners are flawed. The partners can't show her attention and validation 24/7. They can't just live with Amber and live off Amber's dime. So now Amber is kind of like, oh, this is not what I really expected. This is not really what I wanted. So now she's causing her own depression and her own anxiety. And as the relationship goes downhill, it gets worse because she knows that the end is eventually going to come. And Amber's like, oh, okay, like this is going to be like the end of the relationship. And she takes it less of like the relationship breaking up and she's taking it as hurt. It's more of, oh, it seems like a betrayal in her eyes. Almost as if it's an honor to date Amber. Like, guys, this is the Amberlynn Reid. Like, you need to worship the ground that she waddles on. Otherwise, you are not worth her time or energy. You are just insignificant in comparison to her. She is perfection itself, except for her BPD. Any negative actions, she'll attribute to her BPD, but that's not her, guys. That's her BPD. Like, as if that's like a separate entity from Amberlynn Reid. She is perfection itself in human skin, apart from the BPD. But you need to worship her at all times. And if you're willing to ever disrespect her by breaking up with her, that's just the purest offenses. You can't do that. You are nothing in comparison to Amber, and you'll just be tossed aside, and she'll find someone else better than you because she knows her worth. I don't know what it is. Like, I woke up and I'm feeling really good today. Like, I feel pretty good. Like, I got a good solid 8 hours or something. Moving on to the next one, we have, where do you find music? You listen to artists I've never heard of. Same, honestly, I don't know half the people Amber talks about. To which Amber replies, Spotify recommends a lot of great artists. It makes weekly playlists, so I've used that a lot in the past when I discover new music. Oh, okay, well, I've never used Spotify, so that's actually pretty cool. They use different musics from the top of the charts or something, I would assume. Next one is, if you were to learn a second language, what would it be? To which Amber says, sign language. Now, Amber has said that she has learned the ABCs, and I personally don't believe that because being able to spell in sign language, every single letter of every single word of full on conversations would be extremely difficult, even for someone who knows the language, like secondhand nature. Like to be able to do that would be very hard because there is a lot of different letters in words. And when you're having a full conversation, like the way I am, being able to keep up would be next to impossible. So I don't really believe Amber in that way. That being said, I don't know, even if she did know like the full ABCs, I don't know how well you would be able to have a conversation, because if you were to have a conversation like now, I am right now, with someone in English, to be able to have a full conversation with someone who can only say letters would take forever. Can you imagine someone spelling each and every word out, every single letter? Like, that would be so goddamn slow. It'd be like having a conversation with a spirit board. Moving on to the next one, we have Wendy's or Taco Bell, to which Amber says Wendy's. I like their spicy nuggets and chili. Now, we don't have Wendy's, but we do have Taco Bell, and we only have, I think, if I'm not mistaken, there's probably about 12 or so in Australia, from what I've heard. And I think the closest one away is like close to 3 to 4 hours. So I'm not going all that way just for some Taco Bell. I'm sorry. There's no way in hell I'm doing that. On to the next one, we have, what is your favorite Billie Eilish song at the moment? To which M says, I go through phases because all of her music is perfection, so I have a lot to choose from, but currently Wildflower. Okay, like I haven't heard any of Billie Eilish's songs, so I don't know what any of them are. So Wildflower to me is just, like I have no idea. Next we have, girl, what time is it there? Go to bed. To which Emma replies, it's 6:20 a.m. I did go to bed. I woke up already. I spent 3 hours of sleep. Only 3 hours. That's not a lot of time, man, but like that's not healthy. That being said, I need a good amount of time to sleep because I am not really a morning person, but I have to get up about 6 a.m. And when you have to do that almost every single day, it does wear on you if you don't go to bed early because you just are so exhausted throughout the day. On to the next one, we have, what cancer and stage were you diagnosed with? And I'm going to try my best to pronounce this. It's going to come out horribly, but I will try my best, just out of respect. Endometrial endocarcinoma. I think that's how it's pronounced. I really hope so. Stage 1, grade 2 uterine cancer. Stage is how far it's traveled, and the grade is how aggressive the cancer is. Now, I personally believe that Amber had precancerous cells and not cancer itself, and I am willing to concede the point that if she did actually have a grade and have a stage and she was diagnosed with cancer, that I do apologize if that was my mistake. That being said, it's really just Amber's word to go on, and it's kind of really hard to believe Amber because she is a compulsive liar. And it's not because I'm willing to try to be ignorant of the situation, it's purely based on the fact that I can't believe what Amber says because she has lied so much, and she has lied about very serious things. So lying about cancer is something that could just be a truth with her. Like, we don't know if it's true or not because it is purely up to what we perceive to be the truth. Next one we have you ever gotten fan art before? To which Amber replies, yes, I've gotten a lot actually. I used to have a PO box, and that was something I would always appreciate and look forward to the most, because Amber's love language is getting and receiving, like giving and receiving gifts. That's the way she really perceives love the most. It's a very materialistic way of looking at love. Thoughts on Tommy's thread rumors? I don't even know what the thread rumors are. I'm assuming it has to be some sort of bad thing. Like, is she going on Reddit, shit talking Amber or something, maybe? Like, I would assume that would be something that maybe is currently going around. Like, I don't know what the thread rumors are, so if someone could fill me in, I would really appreciate that. People reached so far, I'm surprised that they haven't pulled a muscle. Well, it's better than you not doing anything at all, Amber. Moving on to the next one, which is, it's so weird how people are mad about your sexual boundaries. Love you, girly. To which Emma replies, thankfully I'm not in a relationship with them. Sounds like torture. Love you too. I don't think people are being weird about it. I think they're seeing a double standard and they're kind of calling you out for it. You yourself have said that you're a jealous person and you have gone to the lengths of restricting people, putting times and restricting people from seeing other people. Like, you didn't want Beck or Destiny or Casey to be able to spend time with their friends, but you were expecting your partners to be okay with you doing risque things and posting videos so that other people can lust over you. So, like, you can't allow your partners to spend time with their own friends that they have no sexual or romantic interest in because you got jealous over them spending time with other people, but you are perfectly okay with posting videos and photos of yourself doing certain risque or intimate things so people can find that sexually gratifying. So that's kind of a double standard. Even if your partner is okay with it, it is a double standard overall. Moving on to the next one we have, do you think people may be harsh to Alexis because of how she acted during your friendship hiatus? To which Amber replies, no, people love that. They salivated for more. People are treating Alexis bad because we are friends again. The thing is, Amber is going to choose to be ignorant to the situation because she knows that any criticism of Alexis could be attributed to her too, because they're one and the same. Like, they may not be as bad as each other, but they are one and the same when it comes to a lot of their personality traits. And so any criticism of Alexis that she has to accept would also be attributed to her as a person too. So she's not going to take that type of criticism for Alexis. There's also this aspect of people don't just dislike Alexis for you two being friends again. They dislike her for her own actions because she stood by you after everything that you did for a whole year. That includes potentially getting physical with your ex-partner, dating people who are married, dating people who had internalized homophobia, dating people who were 22 years old, having an 8-year age gap, who were also heavily Christian, also had their own internalized homophobia. I think there was like multiple people with homophobia, if I remember from what Alexis was saying, and there was also multiple married women, not just Erica too. So like there was a lot of different aspects in which Amber kind of was in the wrong, and Alexis staunchly defended her. She went on TikTok, she went on Instagram, she went on the lives, and she was giving a lot of heated energy out. And it wasn't until she got that energy towards Amber, then those actions were no longer defendable. They were no longer good. They were no longer, acceptable in her eyes. So people were like, oh, you're being very two-faced about it, so now we're going to criticize you. And then the moment her ex-girlfriend kind of took Amber's side, she was hoping that she would get doxxed and would get that type of hate towards her, even though Alexis herself was also doxxed, and she said it was a nightmare for her to deal with. So why would you want that type of energy towards someone that you supposedly cared about? Look, even if the two of you were no longer dating, or the two of you were no longer on good terms, why would you want something that made your life so difficult to happen to someone else? Like, that takes a level of just immorality to really just allow you to want that type of harm to come to someone else's life. Moving on to the next one we have, are you excited for A Simple Favor 2? To which Amber replies, yes, I'm just wondering where they are planning on taking it. I have been told that it is like a mystery investigation. I don't know much more than that. Like, one friend disappears and then another one goes searching for her, and that's it. That's all I know. So, I mean, I haven't watched it or read it, or is it a book or a TV show? I'm pretty sure it's both, isn't it? I think it might be both, but that's all I know about it. Alright guys, so moving on to the next one, which is, oh no, it's the Snorlax one. Alright, a little bit of backstory for anyone who may not know the canonical story of Snorlax. Snorlax is unknown, and this is one out of 1,000 plus Pokemon. So Amber is choosing one Pokemon out of 1,000 plus Pokemon, which is known canonically only for sleeping and eating. 16 hours of the day it sleeps, just to wake up for 8 hours a day, and to consume literally tons of food. And it's not exaggeration. They will eat tons of food and then fall into a sleep coma and wake up the very next day. That is the only time they will wake up for 8 hours a day just to eat, and then the moment they've finished eating, they'll go back to sleep. That is what Amber is saying is her favorite Pokemon. That is a shitpost right there. There is not a single doubt in my mind that is not a shitpost. Also, to anyone who may be a Pokemon fan, let me know below what is your favorite Pokemon. Like, my top three are Cubone, Politoed, and Noibat. So if you have like a top three or like a top one, favorite design, or one that looks cute, or one that's the most powerful, just let me know which one your favorite is. Like, I would like to know what you guys say. On to the next one we have. Do you prefer a warm sunny day or a cozy stormy day? I like stormy days. As long as it's not like hardcore pouring down, I don't mind if it rains. It's really nice, especially in summertime when it just cools it down just a little bit. It is so nice. Like, I hate it when it's wet and humid, but if it can make it go down by a couple of degrees, hell yeah, like totally. Emma goes, it depends on my mood, but right now, a warm sunny day. Like, if it's obviously colder, yeah, warm sunny days all the way, but if it is like hot, a couple of days of rain is really nice, especially when it makes it just a little bit cooler out. Alright guys, this is going to be the last one. So we got, girl, you know the type of audience you have, don't be surprised they found Erica, to which Amber replies, no one would have found her if it wasn't for Salty Crab, literally knowing who she was. Yes and no. You're the one that gave out the information people needed. It was key information. You gave out the first name, and people went to the Instagram and found her that way. Like, I'm pretty sure that's how Salted Crab found out who she was. Like, you're the one that decided to put a name out there, and Salted Crab wouldn't have figured it out if it wasn't for you giving the name out there. At least that's what I remember. I think it was Salted Crab herself said. So, like, you gave the key information for people to figure it out. You should have just did what you promised, which was don't give people Erica's name. Like, you made a promise, so you should have followed through with that promise. There's the only reason why Erica was doxxed. Yes, it may be true, but again, you gave out the key information that you promised not to give out. Alright guys, this is going to be the end of the video. I do have another 20 questions to go in this Q&A alone, but I kind of want to split it up to make sure that the video isn't too long because it's 20 minutes already, and the other questions, which are around another 20, are larger. So the video could be anywhere from 40 to maybe an hour long, and I don't want you guys to have to sit through that entire video. So if I break it up into a couple smaller ones, make it a little bit easier to digest, and we can get through those. I do plan on doing a couple Q&As. So if I get through a bunch of them today and tomorrow, before I go back to work, I will upload them instead of every 2 days, every single day until, you know, you catch up with all the content that I have filmed already. But thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if there's anything that I could improve on, anything you want me to react to, or, you know, something you may want to see in the future. And until then, bye-bye.